Okay, hey guys. I know the last couple of times that I tried to upload a video on how to make the harness, I really screwed that up, but I'm apologizing now. I originally sent the videos to somebody through a message, and it only gave me about 15 seconds per video to upload it actually into the message. And I was trying to forward that on to everybody, but the response was honestly, it kind of blew me away. So I'm just going to go through a little walkthrough, step by step for the most part. I've actually lost my harness, so I don't get to show you guys exactly how I've done that. Um, but I have made up a few little mock-ups, and hopefully you'll understand. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Alright, so first off, I drew up this pattern. I kind of just simply laid it over Ethel, which is one of my bearded dragons, and I got it to fit. I conveniently have this little stuffy here, and it's almost the exact same width around here as her belly and around her neck as her neck. Um, but then so you can also use the stuffed animal. Um, just make sure that it fits around the neck and then around the belly. And also be sure to leave yourself some room for your Velcro. So once you've cut up your pattern and made up your pattern, you're going to trace it onto your cloth. I've had a few questions regarding what kind of cloth I use. Um, Here it is, okay? It's an old birch cloth. And where's the proof? I use my phone. But it is. It's just an old birch cloth. This one happens to be 50-50, 50% cotton, 50%, whatever that poly is. Yeah, this one's polyester. Um, and, but I just use birch cloths. Anything you have, it's it all works. Okay. So you're going to lay your pattern on your cloth and trace. Um, Once you get it traced onto your cloth, and then you want to be sure to do this, like if you feel like me, and you have both cloths, usually one side you have a bunch of dots, the other side not so much. When you trace your pattern, you want to make sure it's on the side with the not so pretty dots. I'd suggest go ahead and folding your birch cloth in half, and then tracing your pattern on here. Um, the next step is cutting. Since I already have this one drawn out, I'm just going to use this. Okay, when you're cutting, be sure to cut along the outside. Um, along the outside, you need to leave yourself about, I'd say, a quarter of an inch to sew. Even though this is your exact pattern that fits perfectly on the outside of the pattern in this area, here, and also along the bottom edge, even though this one did not give me room, it made things very tight and very difficult. So make sure to leave yourself some room to sew these pieces together. Um, Hold on here. 1 second. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to make them myself here. I got a second. Um, but yeah, you're really going to want to make sure to watch your edges. I did not on my first one, and it was really difficult. Really difficult. It's not so much the sewing part. Oh yeah, the sewing part, but the flipping in it when you flip it, gotta flip it inside out. Because remember, we're doing everything on the reverse side, not on the inside. Doing it on the wrong side. Um, and when you're cutting, just be sure to give yourself space. Um, I'll show you how much I did here in just a second. Because I can't find my mock-up that I already had. Um, and here we go. Okay. So now that you've done yours and you've given yourself space, see how I've left myself some space like we're on some side. You're going to go through and you're going to start stitching up your edges. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. If you want one of the little hoops like I have, I personally just grabbed, it was an old lanyard, and it had a hook on the bottom, and I took off the hook and I put it down there. So you can use whatever you want to use as far as that's concerned. I just fastened in a circle piece, basically when I was stitching it. You want to do that across the bottom, right here in the middle, right there. You put it in and you just sew across this whole edge. All of this, when you sew that circle, you sew right across the half of it. That won't matter very much until the end. But the hook, even by itself, because it's a circle, it's not going to matter if it's half in or half out at this point. Okay, so we have sewn this whole line. If you feel better with pinning to make sure that your top and your bottom stay together, I suggest go ahead and do that before you start sewing. But yeah, just go ahead and sew your bottom or your side. Whatever you do, don't sew across your ends here. You want to leave these open, and I'm just going to show you why. Okay, so you have two pieces of Velcro. One is the soft in the loops. One is the hooks. Okay, we're going to start with the loops, just because we'll get to both of them. But we're going to start with the loops. So here's our pattern. What we're going to do is we're going to pick up the top and split them. Okay, split your two layers like this. You're going to take your Velcro. You're going to place it on the inside of your pattern like this. So now it's sandwiched in between you. See? Okay, you've got your pattern, then you've got your Velcro, and then you've got the back of your pattern. So it'll look like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to sew completely across this top line, catching your Velcro and your back piece. So once again, you sew all the way across your line, catching your front, your Velcro, and your back piece. Okay? Then continue to sew around the edges here. But whatever you do, be very careful. And on the sides, do not catch your Velcro. Not on the sides. You do not want to sew the Velcro on the sides, just across the top. That way, when you go to flip it inside out, or wherever you've left yourself the hole, it will flip and keep all that on the inside and give you a nice little tucked edge, kind of like that, when you flip it back inside. That way you don't have to worry about your corners of your Velcro catching the dragons or anything else like that. So once again, these are the loops, face up. We're working on our pattern face up right now. You take your loops and you put it in between your two layers. So all the way across all three layers on the top. So just your two cloth layers on the sides, and be sure to leave yourself a hole. If you're not putting a loop on the bottom for a leash to be hooked to, then I suggest leaving the bottom and leave yourself a bigger hole. On mine, because I did leave the loop, I actually ended up leaving this part here not sewn so I could flip it back inside right, and that worked really well for me. Also, I'll go ahead and put this right in here. If you want to do a little Batman symbol like I did, basically it was a patch. I took a circle piece of cloth, put it on it, and sewed all the way around the edges. If you want to do that, please do that before you start sewing your edges. It will make your life so much easier. It took me almost as long to put the Batman symbol on as it did to make the whole daggone thing, simply because I decided to do it last. But you live and you learn, right? Okay, so at this point, you've got one loop Velcro sewn in face up on the face up of your pattern in your cloth. And it's sewn all the way across there. We'll just go to me, okay? So now we come around to our opposite edge. Okay, so this is the side with the hooks. in here, they're facing up. It's where it's kind of tricky. Okay? You're going to take your hooks. Remember, this is face up, face up, face up. This one on this side is going to go in between the two layers of cloth the exact same way as the other side, but face down. And then you're going to sew across your ends again. Remember, you're going to do the cloth, Velcro, cloth again, going all the way across, all the top layers, all the way across, and just down the cloth part on the sides. When you flip it, back inside right. Okay, well, first go back a little bit. So now that we've put these in, you're going to have one upside right. See the pattern, see where I drew? You're going to have one upside right, and you're going to have one upside down. Okay? One upside right, one upside down. It does not matter which is which in the very end, because you just have to make sure one is upside right and one is upside down, so that when it comes back around, it can Velcro to one another. So you get all your edges sewn up and everything sewn in and whatnot, and then you get to your turn, you have your space open for your turn, and you turn it back, inside out. What it's going to leave you with is something like this, okay? This would be quote-unquote finished product, flipped inside out, but that way, once you get your edges done and everything, you can come back out on the outside and just whoop, Velcro together. That is same principle here on the top, on the part that goes around the shoulders. You do one upside right, one upside down. So that way when you flip it back inside, you have nice clean edges across your Velcro, so one across. Don't sew the side so you can actually flip it back inside out. And just be very careful when you're flipping it inside out, and don't pull your stitches too much. You don't want to lose your stitches. And if you make sure to go across, leave yourself some space. Like when you're sewing across your Velcro, be sure to actually sew across the Velcro. Don't sew across the ends, or else you'll have your thread showing through on the other side. You really want to show through like here. So when you flip it, it gives it something to really hold on to. Also, don't be a noob like me. I went out and I bought all of this Velcro, and I mean, there's a lot of freaking Velcro here, and all of my Velcro is sticky. So what I'm going to have to do is once I get completely done, say this is the one I'm doing, and it's sewn up, and I've got, my Velcro pieces already sewn in like this. What I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to cut the backer, and I'm going to add a piece of felt to it, and then I'm going to sew around the edges. So that way there's no sticky left anymore. So if you happen to have extra Velcro, don't be afraid to use it. Go ahead and use it. Just slap a piece of cloth on the back side of it and sew it on there. So that way that it can't come off. If you are doing it with just a random piece of cloth and you want to sew it on the back, just be sure to take your edges before you sew and fold them over like that. Okay? And put that on the back side of Velcro. So you have a nice, pretty rounded edge, and you don't have to worry about all that nastiness poking up. Start with the ends and fold and sew, and then come back down here and fold and sew again. It was really easy. I was really surprised. I kind of thought it was going to be a bit more difficult when I got into it. The whole harness took me, I'd probably say about 3 hours, with a simple, easy total of at least an hour and a half just doing the Batman symbol. But the original harness part only took me about an hour. I did some really quick stitches. Next time I know to slow down or use a sewing machine.
Um, but yeah, that's really the basics of it. I'm going to post the picture of the pattern for you guys. You can use it all you want. This little thing, and as you can see, I just drew mine out on newspaper. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, especially when you're trying to get your sizes right. Um, but I did realize something about this pattern here and the one that I am sharing with you guys. I did give it a size reference so you know how big to blow it up when you go to cut it out or draw it or whatever. I did leave a size reference so you know how big this one is. This one will fit Ethel, who is a small dragon. She's tiny, like it laps like this to go around Ethel's neck, but since it's Velcro, it fits. Um, it fits Ethel, and then it also fits Red, my big old fatty dragon, because with this much extra Velcro on the end of it, like this, you get a whole big boy hole. I mean, that's a big boy hole. And it's the same way with the body part here, the way I did the straps extra long like that on the body part. Um, it gives them room for their big old bellies versus the small head. Gotta love their arrow shape. Um, but if there are any questions or y'all need anything, um, as far as this is concerned, or you want to, collaborate on a pattern for something else, or you want to see something else, you have an idea for something that would be really cool, please just let me know. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I get to sit here and play with the girls all day long with my son, which y'all probably seen pictures of. And I love to create things at home. My next big project, which I will not be making a video on, is going to be background for the girls' tank. Um, Either that or I guess you could call it a rock wall, a ledge, um, and a real hide for Red because she has nothing but a clay pot in there, and I know that's like very common to use, but I would like to make her hide since I have the time. Um, so if you need anything or have any questions or anything, please just let me know. Um, and I'm more than willing to share. Also, if you watch this video and you realize that there's no way you're going to be able to figure this out or your sewing skills aren't up to par or whatever, I will be going today to get a sewing machine. It's going to take me maybe a week or two to get used to it, but I plan on making harnesses um, for a few people, for friends, and that kind of thing. I really don't know if I'll turn it into a full-time business. I don't like sewing that much, but it really depends on what I can get for the first couple of harnesses and how much I get paid, and not always the case. Um, but I will be selling a few of them in the future for those that can't make their own. So once again, if you need anything, just let me know. If you want to go ahead and pretty much put in a pre-order, let me know. If there's any specific style or cloth that you specifically want to use, not just a color of cloth, but like a style of cloth. Like, say, you want this Batman cloth right here, you're gonna have to go out and buy it yourself and mail it to me. Once you mail it to me, I'll be able to take that cloth and